Teo Morca here, showing some of my drawings, a few, and I call these, I put it here, musical and rhythmical inspirations with no label in mind. Actually, some of them have some labels I've given, some thoughts. This one I call the Womb of Flamenco. Thanks to Almaya, she gave it a name. I just called it Flamenco. No particular story. I use mostly Sharpies, but there's watercolors and oil and all kinds of things. So this is just a selection of them. And they're actually all over, so I'll talk a little bit about this glue up of different photos, or a video of these various drawings. I don't use the word art too often. I just call them drawings or paintings or whatever. This one I call Lágrimas por Seguirilla. Seguirillas is a flamenco rhythm that's very dramatic and deep, and so that translates as tears of seguirillas. And you could see the eye and the singer's mouth singing. My thoughts about that. Lágrimas por seguirillas. This I like. I actually had someone buy a copy. This I call flamenco. Pareja means couple. And I like that very much. I enjoy doing that line drawing. This I labeled, after I did it, it's called aire, which is kind of posture and Spanish terminology as far as the dance, called aire. And it has a certain air about it. This I like very much in that it's based on all of the different styles of alegrías and cantinas, which is a flamenco rhythm. Alegría means joys or happiness, and if you look carefully, all the different names, porrosas, cantinas, alegrías, mirabra, porromera, and all the names are in there, blended in, and that's todas las caras por alegrías. This is one of my favorites. It doesn't mean anything. It's got some faces in it. I was in kind of a mood to be real free, so it's got all kinds of free movement in it. And try to get rid of the glare. I've just propped this up so I can video this. I like this one a lot. It's got some interesting things. There's a face there. And I kind of block it out and then get some ideas as I go, whatever I see in it. This was done, I was doing a workshop in Gainesville, Florida, and I was in this motel, kind of bored, and I had some different Sharpies with me, and there's some silver in there, and free form. I kind of like that. I think of rhythm and I think of music when I do these. Give it some balance. Different things around that you see. Here's another one. Similar in a way. It's got names in it. It's got little high points. It's got shapes. Got rhythm. And I like to do those disconnected little pieces around the heart of it. And there's words in there. Tuanis, which is a Costa Rican word. And this means good. Here's another one that I see names in it. Reyla, that's my mother's name. Puchica, it's another Costa Rican name. And different ones. There's my grandmother's name, Toba. And if a name popped up, I kind of stuck it in there, a word. These are mostly Sharpies, but there's some watercolors in there. Here's another one, similar in the sense of different things. There's some faces in it too. And there's some words. There's a no. It's going through these free-form rhythms with some outside rhythms, these little parts that I put in the corners, like rhythms that jump off. This one has a name. I call it tango lesson. Actually, Argentine tango. I see, and so I even labeled it. You can see the words tango lesson through that, and that's what I saw in that. This is one of my favorites in the sense it's got a lot of faces in it. I actually did the shapes, and then the faces kind of jumped out. So if you look careful, if I go close to it, you'll see a face here. And there's some lips. There's a face right there. Faces all over the place. And there's words. I make up words. Gypsy words, Spanish words. This is one of my favorites in the sense that it was inspired by a tile bathroom floor. And it kind of looked like that, but I just did it free form. And when I do these things, it's what comes out in an individual style. In other words, myself. I don't copy anybody. And if an idea comes, I just do it. So it could be different. I'll give you, this one is a good example of that. I felt like doing some linear stuff. You could see it really, a lot of detail in there. And I ended up calling this traffic, city traffic. It's kind of easy to see a lot of freeways going here and there and everywhere, and roads. So from circles and squares, all of a sudden I felt like a very linear drawing that day. This is one of my favorites too. I actually wrote up there, it says, artistry is a never-ending hunger. In the corners, the words up there. And it's kind of a circular, and it's got all kinds of things in there. You'd have to look at it. There's faces, there's names, there's words. And I really like that one. So overall, they're pretty different, each one. Some related, of course, to flamenco, because that's what I do as a dancer. And each one is pretty different. Some are similar in the idea of central theme with little things jumping off the sides. But other than that, they're pretty original. Each one is different. And of course I love this one. That was one of my first ones that I liked and kept. And it's got some interesting detail. If you look at it, it's got all kinds of like those dots there. I don't know why I did that. There's like a palette. So the theme was music and rhythmical inspirations with no label in mind. Womb of Flamenco by Teo Morca.